Hi everybody, Debra here in the studio. If it's your first time, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. You guys, I'm going to do a very abstract, very kind of sun ray looking kind of abstract. I don't know what it is. It just came out of me today and I just went with it, and I think it turned out kind of cool. You'll have to let me know what you think of the painting. Right now I have got some Magella Mission Gold paints out, and I am using Indothrone Blue. I have saturated that very top. This is a dry sheet of paper, but I have saturated the top of that edge of that paper with that Indothrone Blue, and I am working with a ton of water. That quill holds a lot of water, so and I keep going in and getting more water and then dragging it through the paper and loosening it up and letting that paint kind of flow into those areas that I'm dragging my brush. So I'm just kind of seeing where I'm just kind of expressing myself with lines and with the pigment. And then I do flick some water and pigment onto the paper to kind of give it some interest and texture. And now I'm just playing again by dragging the brush through the paper. Okay, now I have got Green Gold by Magella. It is W600. As I drop it in where there is less blue pigment, I will have more of a golden yellow color. And where I drop it in to the Indothrone Blue, I'm going to get a lot darker green, because the colors are now mixing on the paper. Instead of me mixing them on the tray, they mix on the paper. That's how I prefer to do things. I do mix things on the side. Certain times I do that, especially when I'm working with some greens. But for right here, that worked perfectly. And now I'm making my rays up in the top right corner. It just felt like the light was coming in from that painting in that top right corner. So, and it already had kind of some streaks there. So I just ran with it. So intuitively, the painting was kind of directing me. So I was following the direction of the painting. Now I'm just intuitively playing because I see like a yellow blob up there at the top. And I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be some kind of flower or something that's going to form up there, I think. So I'll just drag a straight line down, like if there's going to be a long stem or something. So that's where I am in my thinking with that. Now I'm going in with this kind of like a pigment removing, twirling the brush on the paper technique. As you can see, I go in, I grab some water on my quill, I kind of release some of that moisture off the edge of the glass container, and then I go in and I just spin, okay? And I'm picking up pigment and I'm picking up water. And this is a good technique between the dragging the brush through the pigment and water and this spinning the brush to pick up pigment is a good thing for you guys to learn. It allows you guys to learn exactly that, how to remove pigment from your painting. Because a lot of times we need to do that. We need to bring in some highlights, and we need to create light back into our painting. And the great way to do that is by doing exactly what I'm showing you. Now, I remember I had all that pigment down, and now I just removed a bunch of those pigment with those marks, those big round marks. Look at how much brightness it brought back into the painting, okay? So do you understand what I'm saying? It's bringing light back into your painting. So by removing pigment in this way, of dragging it through the wet pigment, that will help bring light back into your painting. Now I have a tool here that every one of you, I bet, has in your, maybe you have it already in your studio and you use it. And if you don't, maybe you have one of these in your garage that you paint your, maybe some of your home projects with. It's just a normal sponge brush that you can get at any local hardware store. And I'm just, I have paint only on one side. There's only, at the very edge, it's only on one side. And I'm just going in and I'm just dabbing those flower areas with that green gold. And I did dip it right straight into the paint, so it is very thick, because there's a lot of water on the paper, and that helps a little bit with it not dispersing so quickly. So there I do have, I'm playing with a little bit of, I think that's Aussie Red Gold that I have there from Daniel Smith. It was sitting on my tray. It was kind of dried up, but I thought, oh, I can use that. I think that's what it is. It's the Aussie Red Gold. And now I'm putting a lot more of that Indothrone blue in. I'm just kind of darkening things up there in that top section with that color. And I'm just dragging a little bit of the dark color down, just so it kind of brings the viewer's eye from that. I don't want to just, when somebody's looking at the painting, their eye's not just stuck in that top left corner. So by bringing that blue down, it also brings the viewer's eye down. Now there was a puddle forming there in that circle, so now I'm going in and I'm just removing excess water that's starting to maybe encroach into the circles. So you have to keep an eye on your painting, look for those things that might be happening, because sometimes we can be busy working on one area and another area of your painting can be suffering. So you always have to just take just a split second and kind of do a quick assessment of your whole painting when you're working. Now I'm just going to go in and I'm making my little ray marks. I can't help myself, you guys. I'm still on this. I'm still on this. You guys, I'm on a journey here, okay, with my art. I'm taking you guys along with me, and I'm just kind of teaching you guys what I'm learning and what I'm doing, and trying to help you guys along the way here. But this is where I am with my art right now, okay? I'm in this ray making thing. I'm sure eventually I will work out of it, but that's how I'm expressing myself right now. So you might be getting tired of these rays. If you are, I'm sorry. Eventually they'll go bye-bye and something else will show up. Now I do have a little bit of Dr. P.H. Martin Bleed Proof White here. I was just playing around. That's all. You know, I don't end up using much of it at all here. I was just playing around. And now I'm just grabbing some olive green. And what I'm doing is in my mind, I'm making some stems, because those like 3 dark blue streaks up there at the top, I'm thinking, oh, maybe those could be like some kind of like pods or something, some long cattail looking kind of things in the background. So I'm kind of making stems, but that ends up all changing. So, but it's still fun, you know, because you don't know, because it might end up being that. But then when you start throwing other pigments in and things start happening and progressing, things change. So you have to be able to kind of change with it. Sometimes we get so stuck on, oh, I like this so much, but you know, sometimes the painting evolves and changes and you have to let go of certain things. Now I am making the, I know that these are definitive, these are going to be staying, these white spear-like things. I am putting bases on them and then a stem so that you see that I'm doing that, and I'm just doing that with some dark olive green. I'm really in a very thick consistency. The thicker the consistency, the darker the olive green. Now, I was at Trader Joe's, you guys. You can see all these flowers all around me because I've been there and buying some flowers. And when I was there, they had one, and I don't know why I didn't buy it because I know they're not going to be there forever. They were round, they were compact, round, like just round spear, like yellow flowers. And they were so cool. And they were on this really stiff, like stem. And I think that's where this is coming from. Seeing those round balls, seeing those flowers that were like round balls, left an imprint in my mind, and that's what I'm forming here. Of course, they're not bright yellow like the ones in the store. It's more of that idea of seeing that round flower. And now I have, let's see, put autumn orange on half of the edge of that brush. And I'm just going around each of the flowers. Not all of them. I leave some of those. I leave 3 of them without. But I just go around the flower. And I'm putting autumn orange down. That's number W622. Now I'm just dragging some rays out from it. So these flowers are almost like they're exploding or something. I don't know. This is what happens, you guys. This is what happens when you go in your studio and you just let the pigments, and just be creative, and just let the pigments take you on a journey, and just be creative and allow yourself to express yourself. And sometimes things don't go right, and put that sheet of paper to the side and grab another one and then have another go at it. Because sometimes it might take a couple, you might be onto a really good idea and the first go around might not be playing out so right. But I'm sure while you were playing around with that first round, you're learning stuff. You can always get a fresh piece of paper and give it another go, and you already know what you need to work, what to stay away from, and what to do and what to not do. So it's a good learning experience to just get another sheet of paper. Don't get stuck on it. Just put the other painting aside. If it's going south on you, just put the painting to the side and grab another sheet and give it another go. Now I'm just going in and I'm just splashing some of that color. That is that, again, that's that red orange. I'm just really trying to now bring that red orange that came into play into the very center of that piece, but I want to bring it out to the edges, okay? So the viewer's eye is not just stuck in the center, but it's also moving outward. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to think about when you're doing your paintings, how is the person's eye going to move around the painting? So, you know, by creating those red areas off into different directions. That also helps. Making sure that there's stuff going down to the bottom of the paper also helps. So you got to think about your composition when you're putting stuff together too. And now I'm throwing in just a little bit of yellow. I think I have the Quinn Yellow Light there. It is number 618. I just need something bright. I think I put a little bit of Dr. P.H. Martin in there while I was talking, just to lighten things up in the center. Now I'm doing my twig thing, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't stop. Well, it's like a bad habit, okay? I've got a crutch here. I've got a crutch. Somebody come rescue me. Take the crutch away. I'm just like stuck with these twigs. I can't, whatever. Just roll with it, Deb. It's where you are with your art right now, and that's just what it is. I just can't stop. I just don't know how to stop. Let's see, just keep playing. I just keep playing. Okay, you guys, this is the end of my painting. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the meantime, stay safe, stay well, and God bless you guys. Bye for now.